Eskom is owed billions by municipalities. That's made it difficult for the utility to deliver services. This has meant some communities often find themselves in the dark for days at a time, if not weeks. Today, we explore the state of affected communities and how they've been functioning without electricity. Our reporter Theodore Mashele is tracking this developing story, and he joins us now live from the capital, that is the city of Tshwane. Theo, you've been up and about speaking to residents, business owners in different areas in Pretoria. How are they coping with, having to spend 2 to 6, sometimes even 10 hours a day with no power?
Well, Maseko, it's actually longer than that sometimes. We have heard that sometimes it takes up to a week or even more to get power restored around here if there's a trip somewhere after a complaint is launched. But also we've been getting a lot of voices from the community besides hearing from Abokoko earlier on and a business owner inside of this place where we are. I also spoke to the president of eNCA, Mr. Mahlangu, who also had a concern that the residents around Pretoria are not being heard when they call upon the mayor about their concerns. This is what he had to say.
This electricity blackout is really affecting us negatively. So what is going to happen? The municipality must change the template now. They must move away from using that Stellenbosch template, which Brink came carrying on his shoulders. That is a wrong template. Brink, come to the townships, understand what is happening. You don't understand the dynamics. So come to townships and understand, because whenever we call you to the meetings, you've got a tendency of arrogance of not coming. Peter Sutton, stop coming and lying to us. You were MMC of Finance. I gave you solutions. Implement those solutions. They are my neighbors. I know what is happening on the ground. Stop being misled by your MMCs who knows nothing about townships. They claim to come from townships because now they're on blue lights. They can talk as they please. So we are saying, City of Tshwane, next week, let's come and sit down. And don't miss this appointment. Stop stooding us up. We are fed up with you because this door-to-door campaign that we are doing, lying to, many youth are fed with drugs and the government is not doing anything. So municipality, please help. Stop billing, assist the communities.
And that resident is telling the truth, Theo, especially right now with it being silly season. Many politicians from different political parties will be going to communities making many promises.
And what he is saying is that when the communities are actually going through problems, that is actually when we need politicians, mostly the leaders. And right now, Mr. Mahlangu was referring to the mayor of Pretoria himself and saying he should come through and listen to what the communities have to say within Pretoria, since this blackout issue has been a critical issue and recurring, and it seems like nothing is being done. Right now, this establishment where we are is actually a petrol station, and the owners of these petrol stations are also being impacted quite deeply. I have with me here one of the owners of the petrol stations, and he's going to tell us how exactly this impacts him. Sir, thank you for speaking to us. The petrol station behind us, how exactly is it affected when it's blackouts, particularly the blackouts that last for over a week?
Unfortunately, we have a lot of fuel, diesel, that's being used for the generator, because the generator auto starts. So yeah, it really does affect us in a sense that we're not able to, we're not generating the necessary sales that we need, because we're running through, we're a business that we run through franchisor. So we have figures that we need to meet. So yeah.
And earlier on, you were telling me that you are not necessarily making as much money as you need because you are spending money while you are fueling this place for you in order for you to even make business.
Yes, no, that's correct. During the peak, was it load shedding, stage 6? We were having cutouts of roughly maybe 2 to 3 times in a 24-hour period. And so we were consuming diesel roughly between the 60 to 80,000 rand mark per month. So it's quite a hefty figure. But fortunately now that we're in stage 2, stage 3, our figures are still relatively high. Like we're using diesel roughly between 40 to 50,000.
Yeah.
So you can imagine the costs that we're bearing, you know.
So outside of load shedding, which is more of an ESCOM issue, do you find yourself having blackouts without load shedding being scheduled?
Yes, no, this does occur. Like with the current power grid, like how everything is set up here in Atteridgeville, a lot of the residents make use of alternative means of being able to heat up their homes, especially during the winter period. So, for instance, they will use, the electric plug-in stoves to heat up their homes. That's just an example. And so you can imagine this is a very densely populated area. And it overloads the system, and we have blackouts sometimes. And to report that, like the feedback that we receive, it's very delayed, and it can take well over 1 to 2 weeks, you know. And you can imagine now we running our generator in a 24-hour period constantly, you know. Generators aren't like these generators you buy at Macro, etc., that are very small. Like this is a huge generator that costs well over 100,000 to 200,000 rand mark, you know. So you can imagine, and especially in the area that we're in, it's not very well lit. So that also increases a factor of crime, you know, like visibility, you know, unable to get from point A to, like, just walking around essentially, you know. So yeah.
All right, thank you, sir. That was just one of the owners of a petrol station right here in Atteridgeville. And what he's highlighting here is the fact that there's a number of factors that are affected. One, which is the cost of running a generator for a full 24 hours for up to 2 weeks, waiting for a response after a blackout. And another concern was the fact that there is a safety issue where community members have to travel in the dark in order for them to commute around the city. But then also there's just a number of issues that we've been getting from all the residents, including our old age people, who are saying their appliances are also being damaged by this on and off of electricity. So yes, the impact, Masego, is really deep in these communities, and that is what we've been hearing from them.
All right, Theodore Mashele live for us there in Pretoria. Let's leave it there for now.